Joe in real life. I've got my Pokemon cup. I'm in my cul-de-sac. Yesterday, I did my first real squat workout in like 2 weeks. I squatted every day, but I did like 4 or 5 reps, and yesterday I did like 20 total reps, somewhere in that ballpark. Or I guess 30 if you count my warm-ups. I try not to, but you can. I'm so sore. I am devastatingly sore. Like, hamstrings, adductors in particular, feel like they're made of ground beef and crushed glass. That's what those tissues are made of. Like, it's awful and wonderful. I'm not hurt. I mean, I'm in great pain. I'm in vastly more pain today than I was when I hurt my shoulder. My shoulder was just annoying and idiosyncratic and alarming in weird ways. Um, you know what I'm talking about. I'm preaching to the converted on this. You get an injury and it isn't that serious, but it's just like your body sends you the unmistakable signal, do not fucking fool with this. And if you're young and dumb, like I used to be, I'd fool with it anyway, and then I'd get hurt real bad. Those were the days. The good old days, right? But I laid off it. I laid off it for a week. I fell into a soul-crushing depression. I waxed philosophically on here, and it got better. Like, actually, it feels great. It feels better than it did. And you know, that's a hard lesson to swallow, and it sucks. But like, an honest assessment after the fact, I had a nagging injury for a while. Like a very minor one, like a tiny little tweak. And I just ignored it because it wasn't in the way. And then it got inconvenient and started sending those weird signals I was just talking about, and I couldn't ignore it. And I laid off it and I let it fucking heal. And now I feel like strong. Like my scapulas are mobilized, which I did a lot of that too, to be totally fair. And they feel like engageable and strong. And that's just such a bummer, man, because nobody wants to do that. I mean, if you don't like working out, maybe you want to do that, but I love working out. And it really sucked for me. It really sucked. Emotionally, it really sucked. Like, I can't compare it to anything, but like if a puppy visits your house, like if you watch a puppy for a friend, and the first couple days are hard, and then the week goes on and you start to love the puppy, and then they come home from vacation and they take it, that feeling of the puppy going home, and you're kind of relieved, but you also desperately miss it. It's like that. Yeah, I stand by that. I don't 100% know what I'm even talking about anymore, but I stand by that comparison. There's like an emptiness, you know? And that's how I feel about like doing what I'm told to do and supposed to do to heal, and it actually works. I feel like, oh, wish my little guy was back. So, yeah, that sucks. Today I'm just gonna do my loaded progressive stretch. I think I'm gonna pull my sled and I'm gonna get under that weight and I'm gonna try to get 185 just for one. I did it for 8 yesterday, 8 singles. Today just one, but with a pause. And I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go play with my kids and enjoy my life. I talked for a long time. I didn't really mean to. But hey, I love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this. And if you're a new subscriber, I'd love to promise you great and gripping content in the future, but you're going to get a lot of this. It's a journal, you know? And what can you do about that? Like, I'm never going to be a fitness influencer. I don't want to be. If I was given that job today, I think I'd turn it down. I'm a hobbyist at best, and this is my journey. And like, I love sharing it with you guys. I love seeing your journey. Um, let's get to it, okay? All right. See you in a minute. If you have moderate to severe DOMs, I have always found the Kang squat to be a good way to knock that trash out of your body, get it out of your legs. And today was no exception, man. I felt like the Tin Man walking up these first couple sets. And you'll see I do a couple of just pseudo good mornings in the beginning. And, oh, they felt horrible. Just horrible. And like, there's no way I'm getting up and down with 185. This is 65 pounds. like I can't handle this at all. But the Kang, man, if you don't know what the Kang is, it's basically a good morning and then an ass to grass squat, and sometimes another good morning, depending on how you feel, on your way back up. In the bottom position, I'm focusing on just pushing my knees forward, just like pushing my chest out, trying to get in as stable a position as possible without exaggerating too much any shapes that I'm not going to be able to get and maintain when I'm in my actual squat. So what does that mean? Like, clearly in a situation with 65 pounds on your back versus having 3 or 4 times that on your back, the shapes are not going to be perfect. Some exaggeration to get into position is going to be necessary. And really, on both ends, like when you're squatting heavy, you don't necessarily attempt to exaggerate, you more attempt to survive. But some unconscious exaggeration does happen, and this is determined like by the bar itself, you know? It like asks you a question that only that your body answers without getting your vote, you know? So with a lightweight on my back, I try to do those unconscious things that I do with a heavier weight, but consciously. And I'll be the first to admit, it doesn't always work. I mean, in fact, it's pretty inaccurate. But I don't think that matters so much as that you're not doing the movement in a position that you'll never see, you know? Like, you could make the argument that you're enforcing a bad movement pattern, and the Kang squat is certainly not the movement pattern you want for a heavy regular back squat. And my counter to that would be that the Kang squat is more of a loaded mobility exercise, and you're not trying to necessarily feed your squat as you're trying to get your body just ready to move, just ready to be a human being today. But in the bottom position, I try not to be too loosey-goose, you know? I try to press my knees open. I try to stay active in my glutes. I try to have the chest forward. Things that you do in the squat automatically so that you don't end up in a wheelchair. But, you know, not super necessary here. I move to the inside of the rack. I'm just doing controlled reps all the way to the bottom. I'm liking my foot position. I'm liking the bar speed. You know, as sore as I am, it still moved pretty well. And now I'm jumping up to, I think is 155, 175 at my minimum. Honestly, I had more. I felt good. But as I've stated in prior videos, you know, when you're as sore as this and then you warm up and you feel good, don't go for it. Just don't do that. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've jacked myself up, like falling for that false flag, and I'll do it again. I know I will. I'm not that smart. You get excited, you feel good. Like, I feel better right now recording this voiceover than I did throughout the workout. It's only been a couple minutes since my last set, but like now my body's ready to roll, you know? And we're not going to do that. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy some chicken tenders. We're going to make buffalo chicken quesadillas for dinner tonight. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to lift more weights because, well, because I don't want to be hurt again, man. I had a really bad time. to put too fine a point on the obvious, I did not enjoy the last 10 days, you know? I think this is the top set, 185. I'm going to watch it with you. First time, same as you. See how we're doing. I put LPS under that 185. I wonder how long I stay on the bottom. Let's see. I got to stop unracking with one foot. It's a hard habit to break. Uh-huh. All right, well, that wasn't a very long pause, but that rep looked great. I got no complaints. Awesome. Yeah. I don't know, man. All's right in the world again. This is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be good to each other out there. I'm going to try hard to do the same. See you tomorrow.